119 dead, 160 plus missing. It's now recovery more than it is anything else. I'm not saying there isn't a chance that there's a miracle out there, but that would be, I mean, because you're talking about the water's receded in a lot of the areas. So unless you're pinned by something, they would have found you by now, or you could have hiked out of the area to some sort of safety. I have a feeling this is going to be several days of looking for bodies, which is, it's awful. And of course, what does that do? It's about politics, baby. It is. I was flipping around early this morning because I got up extra early, and for whatever reason, I don't know why today was extra early. And I'm watching like a replay of Chris Cuomo going off on the insanity of politics and how this is, taken over. You got Schumer, right? And Fang's boyfriend, Swalwell. Yeah, we got to have some sort of investigation. Got to have some sort of investigation. This is it. Because it's all Trump's fault, right? Between climate change and immigration, because the way he's getting people out of the country is probably causing an unbalance, which is causing more rain. Whatever BS they're going to come up with. But people do this because they want to score points. That's what politics, it's so performative. It's like the TSA. It's all performative. It is. It's all performative. And same thing here. People go out there and say the craziest, wackiest things because you're going to talk about it, but it's not meant to actually fix the potential problem. And they're fine with that because did I get likes? Did I get clicks? Did I raise money? Did I show the world that I could stand up to Donald Trump and the administration? Did I show the world? You can't just come out and go, hey, this is horrific, and I'm not here to play politics. What does Texas need? If it's just prayers, we can give prayers. If they need us to, convene in some way, shape, or form, get them anything they need, let's do that as fast as possible, because that's what we do for fellow Americans in a time like this, in a tragedy. Not, we need to investigate Donald Trump. Because the people that he fired, who aren't fired yet and are still working, those people weren't paying attention. No, we're starting to find out what kind of happened. And people want answers. They want answers. If your mom died, your brother died, your kid died, yeah, eventually you're going to want some sort of answer. You're going to want some sort of, hey, what do you think happened? Where did this thing go wrong? That's the Monday morning quarterback we joke about. But what happens on Monday after a football game? What do? They all go in, they look at film, what we got right, what we got wrong, what we can fix. And then you go about putting in a game plan. Well, we're starting to get kind of an idea of what went wrong. And it wasn't because Donald Trump is a meanie. Right? No, you think it is Bell? Bell's like, absolutely it is, 100%.
He's just hardcore hater.
Well, haters are going to hate, right? Haters are going to hate. It's ridiculous. Or maybe it was a piss poor way that these things were put together, in the way that they thought about how do they fix the problem that may arise, that has arisen before. Well, their idea was kick the can down the road and hope and pray it doesn't happen. You have one job. This is the gig, man. This is the job, right? There ain't no other job that will ever be this important. Did you push a button? I can't remember. That was it. There was no other gig. You didn't have another gig. It wasn't like afterwards, you got to go out and do stuff. You failed by all accounts of this. And I know you're going to do everything you can to get to the bottom of this, et cetera, et cetera. That isn't going to make people feel good about this. If you did everything you could and nature did what nature does, you can't, there's nothing you can do. In some things in life, there's nothing you can do. But there's no doubt that it seems like it's more of a local issue. And they pushed things off. That's the other side of this. We talked about it yesterday. Why can't they have, I don't know, a warning system? How is it that this hasn't been implemented? Yeah, you should be. You should be. And the warning system, where was it? Well, they've been talking about it for a while, and they did nothing. They gave a company $78,000 earlier this year. Obviously, they didn't have time to implement anything. It's not that hard. They were worried about noise more than anything else. The plan they had. Now, I want you guys to think about this, right? So we got Jay in that room. We got Ken. Ken's not. That's Jay. Wave to me. We've got Bell and we got me. So the way it worked is if I'm Camp A and the water starts rushing up, I'm supposed to pick up a phone. And chances are, because remember, a lot of these counselors and kids, this is one of the other things that we're learning about. You're supposed to surrender your phone. This is about getting away from the technology, being out and having fun. So I go to the phone as the water starts to rise late at night, and it's probably a rotary phone. And then I call Bell as I'm floating away and say, Bell, guess what? There's a big AF storm that's hit us. You should probably do something about it. Then Bell is supposed to then call on to what would be Jay in the other room, Jay's camp, and say it's coming. That was their plan. And that plan, kids, failed. And people lost their lives. And I think it's going to be, I think when all's said and done, it's going to be over 300 people. That's a big thing. You think about a little community like that, 300 people. And the camp, everybody's like, well, what about the camp? The camp just got a clean bill of health like a couple weeks ago. But their job isn't to implement. Their job is to do safety. And they did. You know, we talk about the kids that are lost. There was over 600 kids there. They got a lot of them out. And a lot of the kids got a lot of themselves out, which was amazing. But their job was to give the safety of, hey, here, in case stuff happens, this is what we're supposed to do. This is where you're supposed to go, just like if you're on an airplane, things of that nature. And alas, here we are. But the thought of turning this into all about politics so you can score points against Donald Trump as if that's some sort of awesome reward is just stupid. And it shows that you care more about the making the tribe happy than anything else, which is sickening. Speaking of sickening, as the attacks ramp up, I want you guys to listen to this. This is out of San Antonio, not too far away from there, but this has nothing to do with what just took place in Kerrville. This is how crazy we have gotten when it comes to ICE and politics and immigration. This is sickening from a person who's running for a council position.
And I want to show you this. This was in San Antonio, Texas, where a challenger for a District 1 council called for the killing of ICE agents in Los Angeles. You won't even believe this. This is Matthew Guana. And he posted the comment here on X in response to DHS agents arresting illegals in LA. He says, and they will get shot by the Los Angeles public. I want to see a few dead ICE agents, Los Angeles. Don't let me down. Can you believe that? So Assistant Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Tricia McLaughlin, reposted the comment here on X, writing this. San Antonio City Council candidate calls for the killing of ICE law enforcement officers in Los Angeles. Depraved. We'll see you soon. There he is right there. Meantime, Axios is reporting that town halls and one-on-one meetings, constituents, they want lawmakers to break the law. They want them to get tough. They want them to fight dirty and not be afraid to get hurt. In fact, they want them to get shot for the anti-Trump resistance. They want blood, is what they're saying.
So now it's not even about scoring points. Right? So it's not even about like, hey, let's score some points. Man, it's going to be great. I'm going to go online. I'm going to say something really inflammatory. It's going to be crazy. People are going to cheer me on. Now, to really show you're part of the team, we want you to go out and get shot. So you could say, man, that guy's super resisting. Did you see the way he got shot? That is super resisting. I've never seen anybody resist we much. Remember that? Did you ever hear that? You never heard Al Sharpton say resist we much? Much we resist? Oh, I'll pull it. It's the greatest
No,
thing.
all I can remember about Al is him getting convicted and then he couldn't spell respect.
Well, you know how it goes. Those words are
R-E-S-P-I-C-T.
I just remembered one day he was 80 pounds. And I'm like, when did that happen? Remember how big he used to be? And then one day, 80 pounds?
Started doing Atkins.
That's the way it works. What are we doing? You know, I heard the mayor of Chicago saying, we will not cooperate. When you do stuff like that, do you think it works better? And you say, I'm here to help X, Y, and Z. I want to help these people, these immigrant communities, people, you know, the left calls them, you know, whatever they want to call them, immigrant communities, non-documented, you know, unicorn chasers, whatever they want to call them, and the rights, they're illegal aliens, whatever they. When you go and you resist the way that you do in such a way, you're not interested in helping those people. You're not. You're interested in making points for yourself. That's it. I'm not going to help ICE. ICE isn't asking you out to arrest anybody. All they're saying is, hey, you got a murderer in there, wanted in a different country, somebody who's wanted to be deported because he's gone through 3 or 4 different hearings and they've told him he's got to go. Could you hold him for us?
Murder's not a crime, Chad.
It's not. It's unaliving. That's what you got to say on the internet. Unaliving. Have you seen that? Those are the things. It's unaliving. Okay? So when you do that, you build up animosity. And that's what they want. And now they want people to go out and get shot, go out and get hurt, go out and fight so they can get some sort of red badge of courage. Oh, that's what it's all about, kids. The red badge of courage. You see what I'm resisting, Belle. So freaking resisting. You can't stop me. Coming up. It's Wednesday. We do One Hit Wonder Wednesday. You're saying, what is that, Chad? I will explain it to you in a minute, but it's a lot of fun. We don't just do politics stuff. We do pop culture. We do life stuff. And it also makes us laugh that we can have this great one-hit wonder. And we got a doozy for you today. We do. So we'll be doing that straight ahead. If you miss any of the show, shame on you. Shame, double shame, triple shame. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Definitely know the song. Sugar, baby. Today, go back to the year 1982. I was a wee lad, 11 years old. And I remember when this song came out. It was weird, but the video was cool. There wasn't a lot of videos. If you go back and look at the early years of MTV, there was like 8 videos. And the videos made no sense.
And it was almost all English artists because they were the only ones making videos.
And you know, it's Duran Duran, I remember them talking about, they had no idea. Like, they would just like, they look like models. They'd have them walking around with wind blowing in their hair. It made no sense. This one, oddly enough, made sense. He was born in 1955, and his name was Taco Okashir. He was born in Jakarta, moved to Hamburg, and eventually settled in Holland. He got rid of his last name and went by the name Taco. And Taco had a hit that makes all of us smile. There was an Irving Berlin song in 1927 that he took and discoed / Englished it up, made a video that was so unique. It was such a trip. RCA Germany didn't even want to release it. They said, it's stupid. There's no way this thing will ever be a hit, but they stood by it.
Plus, everybody in America is going to think that he named himself after a Mexican sandwich.
Yeah, and that's not. His real name is Taco. It got to number 4 here, but it sold millions of albums. It was number 1 all over the globe, and every time you hear it, you go, oh, yeah. $1 Million Trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. So the song was a smash hit. When they did the video, though, they had people in blackface, and MTV said they wouldn't play it, so they had to go back and redo it. And again, it's a trip. The whole song was a trip. And he tried, it was all cabaret and camp. But it has been hundreds of shows. He still tours all over, just essentially doing the one song that he does. He did a Singing in the Rain, but it never had the same kind of feel and oomph that this did. And I love this song. The video was awesome too, because he's in the tuxedo and dancing around with his, he's got the cane and he's pointing. It was a trip. And Taco let it all out. Taco is your one-hit wonder on this Wednesday. Oh, yeah, baby. Coming up. Never heard this song. I was born in 1992. That's awesome. Love me some Taco. Putting on the Ritz. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Needs more sour cream.
Needs more sour cream. Everybody's like, what about Rock Me Amadeus? Oh, yeah, we got a lot. Do you realize I get so many people who send me, oh, do this song next. Do this song. I love the uniqueness behind all of these things and these stories about, there is a band, too, that was out of Indonesia. If you go and look at them, I'll find them. They were doing things that Chuck Berry and the likes of Hendrix was doing 10 years before. You would have sworn it was a European band that had come out of nowhere. There was a lot of Indonesians went over there, but Taco is the most famous of all when it comes to that. And he had his one hit and his fame. And I saw him the other day talking about the fact that he loves doing it. He doesn't shy away from it. Taco, your one-hit wonder on this Wednesday. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. This lady, because it's White Woman Wednesday, going off about all the things that may happen to her Medicaid. And all of the things is just hilarious. It's sad, but it's also hilarious. Talk a bit about that. A bunch of other things on the way. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. We're going to have John Rose on tomorrow, 1 p.m. It's going to be interesting. I was talking to his guy yesterday, and I'm excited about it. I'm like, I hope he's fine with talking about mayonnaise, because that's pretty much that's all our show is about, is mayonnaise. Condiments. Tomorrow is Ketchup Thursday. So 1 o'clock tomorrow. When are we
gonna? I mean, we gotta have a day for relish.
That'd be Friday. Friday
Okay.
is bring your all mustard, relish, any of the condiments that you might,
Sriracha sauce. We gotta have a day for that.
Sriracha sauce. Sriracha feels like it should have its own day.
Yes,
right, because it became such a huge deal.
Absolutely.
I remember driving by out in California, because it's out in Southern California. They have the plant, and woo, you can smell it. You can smell it. Those damn kids, I'll tell you what. My kids, they put it on everything.
Because it goes on everything.
Yeah, I just look at them. I was like, you guys do realize that's not a personality. Sriracha's a personality. It's not. It's not a personality. So, White Woman Wednesday, too. We have a lot of fun with this. This is a lady who is upset because, Trump's taking everything in the world away from them. And she's going to explain to everybody why this is going to destroy her world, which is... Remember what all of these bills are supposed to do with these bills. Well, the bill with all these little bills inside of it. 18 to 64 able-bodied individuals who aren't caretakers. Those guys. This is who is supposed to affect. If you are any of those other things, if you're a child, you're not losing anything. Okay?
My whole house is on Medicaid. My husband, me, our baby daughter. Okay, we're all on Medicaid. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the birth control in my arm that I have. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the antidepressants that I have at no cost to me. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to go to therapy to continue to be the mom I am to the 3 kids and 2 separate houses that I have to do.
Well, first of all, I'm glad you got the birth control. That's a good start right there. Secondly, it's good that you're talking about your mental health. We can all agree on that.
I just love the entitlement attitude, though. There's just this whole sense of, you guys should be paying for my stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, right? It would be nice if somebody goes, look, you know what? I've gone through some hard times, and all the taxpayers out there, you guys have helped me, by paying your taxes. And through that, I was able to get myself on my feet, and I'm trying to do my best. And instead, it's, you owe me, and this is what I deserve, et cetera, et cetera.
Without Medicaid, my daughter wouldn't be able to go and get her vaccines and go and get all of the things that she needs as an 18-month-old baby. Without Medicaid, my husband wouldn't be able to go and get the medications that he needs and the treatment that he needs for his disability. Without Medicaid, not a single person in my house would have health care. We are low income. Our only income is my husband's SSI. We're on food stamps. We use food pantries. Okay? Without Medicaid.
And by the way, if all of these things are to be true, which I don't know you, so, and I've heard stories that maybe the internet has people that tell lies, but I'm not saying that's you. What I am saying, though, is in this situation here, this is who it's supposed to. You're a mother who's struggling. He's disabled. You're not supposed to lose anything. You're not. And what you've done is you've listened to people say, you're going to lose all of this. You're going to be homeless. You're going to get no food. All of those things are going to happen, including kicking your children off any of the things they're on and your husband. So, but this is the entitlement in without this, without that. And there's plenty from this lady. There's so many videos.
We would never be healthy. And for us, it's not even like body, it's all mental. For my husband, for me, and then we have a baby who needs Medicaid for vaccines, who needs Medicaid for, I already have 2 children who are diagnosed with autism. So what if she ends up getting diagnosed with autism? We need Medicaid. We need Medicaid. And if you live in America, everybody deserves free health care. That's it. I just love you. Have a good day.
There is no free.
There's no free.
And also, those kids do not have autism. They just don't want to talk to her.
Yeah, no doubt. They're probably, somebody said, I bet she has a 70-inch TV. Well, he probably does. She doesn't. Without Medicaid, so if you were all of those things, if you've got kids who are diagnosed with really autistic, you want to, my 16-year-old, she's got autism. It's not she's got it for real. My little brother who is here, if you guys were to see how medicated he just left yesterday, we had to get him on a daily basis because he has got serious issues, special needs, because my sister was a crackhead when she had him. He was born with so many drugs, fetal alcohol syndrome, all of these things. They have serious issues. Not everybody's autistic. The problem with like much with the rainbow of the pride, they've made the autism scale much bigger, right? I'm neurodivergent. I had ADHD. I was hyper. I still am. If you guys watch me on here, I tell them I wish I could stand up during the show because that's what I like to do. I move around, I bounce around.
And, of course, being entitled like you are, you come in every week and tell me to give you the money that you need to buy your ADHD drugs.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. This is 100% what I do. And if not, punch him in the grundle. But it's that entitlement that doesn't help people. When you're sitting here going, I look at somebody and I see people that are they need help. That's what these safety services are for, the safety nets. It's not for people sitting around doing something. And if you don't get the message right, and I've said it, look, the big, beautiful bill is fat. There's a lot of crap in there we don't need. I'm not thrilled by a lot of it, but it is what it is, and we'll see what it looks like. But you better learn how to sell it to the people because there are going to be people that lose it who shouldn't. And that's going to be frustrating. And you better bet your candy ass they're going to be out there every day selling it to the world that this is what's going to happen. But if you keep throwing it out there saying, look, this guy's 24, lives at home, right? Or 28, can be working and decides not to. Yeah, you're pointing that out. Now, if you have 8 jobs and you don't have health care, it's so damn expensive, that's an issue. And I think that's where a lot of this issue is going to come with Obamacare and some of this stuff where people are going to be working sometimes 2 or 3 jobs and they're not going to have health care because it's so expensive. And trust me, it is ridiculously expensive. Crazy expensive in some places. I will, and I told you guys this when I first started here. When I came out here, and we got health coverage through Cumulus, which is amazing. The amount I was paying was I could have had a $700,000 home. That was our insurance. It's crazy. It is crazy. That's how. So yes, it's expensive, but never once did I say I deserve it. You owe it to me. Speaking of owing it to you and free stuff, the left they don't know how to talk to men. We've already established that. They're not good at messaging. We already established that. Now they've got a big problem in New York City because the guy that's probably going to end up being mayor, they don't know how to talk about him and they want to ignore him because he scares the bejeeminy cricket out of everybody.
Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee for mayor in New York City. CNN has new reporting that some progressives who empowered Mamdani to victory now want to primary you and other Democrats in New York City. The co-chair of the New York City's Democratic Socialists of America says he thinks you're picking fights, quote, with the left instead of focusing on fighting the right. His words. Asked whether Mamdani thinks those House incumbent challenges should happen, his press secretary told CNN he was declining to comment, at least for now. How do you respond?
I have no idea what these people are talking about. We are going to continue to focus our efforts as we did on the House floor in connection with Donald Trump's one big ugly bill on pushing back against the extremism that has been unleashed on the American people. It's clear to us as House Democrats, it's clear to us as members of the New York City delegation that the problem is Donald Trump and House Republicans who have launched this unprecedented assault on the American way of life, an assault on health care. They're ripping food out of the mouths of children, veterans, and seniors. They're exploding the national debt. They're unleashing mass agents on law-abiding immigrant communities. It shouldn't be too difficult for some people to figure out who the problem is in the United States of America.
Translation, I don't want to talk about the guy. Let me tell you why Trump's bad. Why? Because you just know how to message around him. Because he scares you guys more than he scares the right. He's got energy behind him. And not even it'll be different when it gets into the general population because there's going to be more stuff that comes out about this guy. But it is hilarious to watch them dance around this guy because he's young, he's got energy, he is not part of an establishment, and and some of you guys might not understand this, a lot of the stuff he talked about when it came to the economy a lot of it was out of Trump's playbook. Middle class, can't afford stuff, really hammered that part. The rich get richer, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, Trump and his big, beautiful bill, well, the rich got even richer there. But this is it, to watch them walk around this guy, and now that they feel they have, I hope they primary all of them with uber progressive wackadoos. Because, and here's the thing, this guy may run away with it in New York City. I mean, people say it's impossible. It's not. All you have to do is go and see Bill de Blasio. They say, oh, he can't win. That guy was uber progressive and a wackadoo and awful at his job.
I still remember the first article I read about him where he said with pride that he firmly believes in the heavy hand of government.
Yeah.
And I just, as soon as I saw that, it's like, we're cooked.
We're cooked. I mean, if they're going to get that more and more every single day, then let them. But if, this is one thing about the middle class. When I looked at this big, beautiful bill, should have been more geared for the middle class. You should put a lot more stuff in there that benefits them and everybody as the average American. Absolutely 100%. Because the left, if they were smart, would figure out how to turn this even more into a class warfare without being insane and have some common sense ideas. Luckily, it's the left, and they're useless, and they spent $20 million trying to figure out how to talk to men, and they still don't know how to do it. Coming up, more fun stuff. We didn't do naked bowling yesterday, did we? We got to do naked bowling.
No, we did not.
No, we'll do naked bowling next hour because it deserves all the fun out there. It does. We got some of your text messages as well. If you miss any of the show, we say shame on you. Grab the podcast, and now we're on
Rumble.
So rumble over there if you want to. We're also on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and soon to be on carrier pigeons. We're just going to put little TVs on them, fly them around. You can see us doing all of our stuff.
Chad, Carrier pigeons are extinct.
Yes, you think. They're not. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
President Trump meeting with leaders of various African nations today. No deal yet in Gaza, and a program to help cancel subscriptions is getting canceled. We'll have those stories at 2 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Probably not meeting on a Carnival cruise line. Several of you chiming in about some of the stuff we've talked about earlier. I think it was Ray that said, the rich got richer, huh? Are you a Democrat? Yes, totally. No. I care about the middle class. I care about all America. Isn't that, I mean, it's, the tax cuts are going to significantly benefit the upper. That's the reality. It has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican. That's just it. It's not about freedom or anything like that. I'd rather see the middle class get a tax cut. Who's with me? Are all of you fine with the rich getting the lion's share? Because they know what they're doing. They know how to work around the rules. And I say rules because that's what they are. Because if we were serious about fixing taxes, we would fix the tax code. Have you ever seen other tax codes around the country, around the world, where you get like not even a one shit, you get a card. They send you a card in, I think, Holland and Japan. It's just one card. And this is what you owe, and this is what you paid, and that's it. There's no us.
Well, the tax codes basically become a mechanism of control by the government.
Well, of course it is. And sculpted in such a way that the powerful are able to sculpt a lot of this. Just like people asking, like the TSA thing. You want to know why they're fine with no taking your shoes off now? It's because the huge lobbyists of all the airline companies and travel companies have said, look, people are sick and tired of taking their stupid shoes off, right? And everybody's like, but it's for our safety. You do realize Richard Reed, who was the nut job who tried to blow up his shoes and take down a plane, that happened 3 months after 9/11. Then what? 5 years later, they put the shoe thing in. 5 years, not 5 minutes. And that will never happen again. Somebody taking over a plane, like it just isn't. We're never going to let it happen. It didn't even happen at the end. They ended up taking the plane down because they knew what was going to happen. They had to go. It's just not. You know what I worry about? Who's putting my stuff on? Who's underneath? Who could access those people? Who could get to the tarmac in certain areas? I worry more about that than what did you call it yesterday? The safety? Performative. Yeah, the performative safety of the TSA. Because it is performative. I think we recognize it. I mean, is anybody going, oh my God, I feel safe now? It's just so ridiculous. It is. So ridiculous. So the rich do pay rich pay a lion's share. Yeah, they do. Ask the rich if you really need a break. Do you? I mean, do you really need a break? Are you worried about it? And I'll say this, right, guys? This benefits me a lot more than 99% of you out there. And I didn't ask for it, didn't need it. There's other ways around things that we do. It's the way you pay people. That is, I would rather see the middle class across the board have opportunities and get breaks. Who wouldn't? And there's a lot of the middle class who are looking for that. And the struggle is they're the ones who got you there. That's just it. Absolutely. I don't see how that shouldn't be controversial. Oh, it's a right or left thing. No, it's a reality thing. Coming up, hour number 3 of said program. What are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to do nude bowling because that's happening. I think that's happening today, actually. So Belle and I will be in Pennsylvania a little while, naked as a jaybird. And by the way, Belle, passenger pigeons, they're not around anymore. Carrier pigeons are.
Oh, okay.
Right. I didn't even know pigeons were that big. They carry passengers. That's an odd thing. But what are you going to do, right? Coming up, hour number 3 of the program, Chad Benson Show.